What is a niche skill that you have? I've got pretty long arms and vice-like grip strength, so my niche skill is being able to pick up heavy objects that are awkward shapes. How was it growing out in Chernobyl? Chernobyl? I am sorry, what? Did you mean Chernobyl? Gesundheit. I can speed up and slow down my heart rate at will. Spent a lot of time hooked up to vital sign monitors as a kiddo. Came away with that. Used to be all mischievous and play with the nurses on the floor by spiking my heart rate to get them running, then bursting out giggling as soon as they arrive, shoving stuff into backpacks, like stuff that shouldn't fit. Mary Poppins, is that you? Yes, sir. Ever since I was 4, I've had a fierce obsession with trivia. It's on my bucket list to make it onto Jeopardy before I die. Do it, and practice your public speaking skills. In the late 90s, my grandpa passed the written exam to get onto Jeopardy, but then totally froze when they brought him in for the screen test. He's the kind of guy who'd watch Jeopardy and quietly say the correct answer before the contestants, like at least 90% of the time. The man was smart AF. Being under all the lights and cameras and stuff can be kinda intimidating. So when you do go to try out, which you totally should, just remember to practice beforehand so you'll reduce the risk of freezing under pressure. And if you do freeze, that's okay, even though he never made it onto a 30-minute TV trivia show. My grandpa was still one of the most amazing people I've ever met. I'm sure you're pretty cool too. I have a spot on Dr. Doofenshmirtz's impression. And you, my friend, are now invited to my birthday party. I can spend money really fast. My personal record in stone skipping is 32. Being able to virtually model things mentally. Also being able to cartwheel as an overweight man. Finding space to fit furniture and organize stuff when everyone else has decided there was no more room, monsieur. This. If you are moving and need to fit a ton of crap into a moving van, trucks, trailers, whatever, I'm your guy. All my friends know this, and it is why I hate whenever someone is moving. Lol. I'm really good at Dance Dance Revolution. Signing up for email notifications. I know what all the SQL tables do that support our tracking system, monsieur. Get fired, train nobody, and wait for them to call you. Charge 3 times your rate. Make profit. It is a classic story of the IT mythos. Not an expert, but I have a decent grasp on celestial navigation. Even though I do sail, this has come in handy exactly 0 times. If it ever does come in handy, you will sure as shit be happy you have the skill. True, though the odds of us being somewhere navigation is a concern and conditions are right for taking sightings, but also all like 6 of our GPS devices have broken, but our watch is still working and we can find the tables we need for the calculations are pretty schly, monsieur. It's a fun mental exercise though. You're jinxing it very accurately. I have almost full dexterity in my toes, feet. I can write legibly, type at approximately 30 WPM, and can play hot cross buns on the piano. No reason at all. Just kind of kept picking stuff up with my feet and eventually got better at other stuff. I don't know if you'd call this a skill, but I can shake my eyes really quickly. It's called nystagmus. And as far as I can tell, I've got the voluntary and involuntary variety. They sometimes shake by themselves when I'm really stressed or tired. I vividly remember squeezing my eyes shut in a maths exam when I was 16 to make them stop shaking, so I could see the numbers. Ha ha ha. I'm very skilled with tech decks. I can recognize with 95% accuracy the facial features and genetically different people from nations around my country. I can tell even if a person is a mix of 2 different nations. Since most of the nations around me speak 90% same languages, it's harder to guess. Especially since the people come to work here and they lose the accents. I love being able to freak people out. It's useless mostly. I can sing any song in perfect pitch and melody on first try if I'm looking at sheet music. Learned it from doing theater all these years, lol. As someone with awful pitch, I hate you. I'm awesome at Connect 4. Like I welcome any challenger. Come at me, boys. I'm representing Britain here. I challenge you to a round of Connect 4 online. I don't know if that's a thing though. I can snap my mouth kinda like finger snapping. I can write code that. Asterisk reads a Microsoft Word file. Asterisk turns it into an interactive datasheet where the user enters numbers and text and checks checkboxes. Then, asterisk saves the result as a PDF file. I'm pretty sure nobody else does that one. Tutorial, please? Smiley face. Ha, I can barely do it myself and I'm still writing it. Here's a summary. Asterisk Word docx files are actually zipped up .xml files. Take any Word docx file, change its extension to .zip. Then you can unzip it. Asterisk if you are unfamiliar with XML. Do this. Open it in any text editor and see it looks like nonsense. Open it again in Chrome or Edge so you can see the XML tree-like structure. Asterisk back to coding. Parse that XML and you can read tables and paragraphs. Asterisk make up some rules about the tables. Like mine must have some measured value and limit columns. Then you can have numeric entry that flags when there are limits. Asterisk same thing with checkboxes. Make up your own rules on what generates a checkbox for the user. Asterisk when it comes to generating PDF. There are tons of open source libraries for that. I'm using Migradoc, but there are probably better options. I can predict the weather. I know when the guys on TV are wrong. Can you elaborate? Like, is it just a sixth sense or is it just really easy for you to tell based on patterns? My nipples can, too. They know when it's raining. Not me, but my sister makes incredible salad dressing. Like, she's not bad at cooking or baking. She's a bit above average if not good, I'd say. But her salad dressings are above everything. She doesn't even like salad. I can convert oxygen to carbon dioxide. I can do a very realistic cat impression. Freakishly sharp elbows that allowed me to motor through any crowd. When crowds were still a thing. Asterisk mental note. Find new niche skill asterisk. I can roll a blunt one-handed. Tried it after breaking my right hand and it worked like a charm. Sure doesn't look good on a resume though. I taught myself piano, clarinet, oboe, saxophone, accordion, guitar, AMD bass guitar. I'm really good at predicting when it's going to rain. Like almost scary good at times. IDK, maybe it's not a niche talent but I think it's pretty cool. We share the same niche. I can lay in bed for a disturbingly long amount of time. As a tenor, I can sustain a high B flat for 8 seconds while keeping the pitch steady. Holy shit, what's your lowest note? My best lowest note is a flat below middle C. I am the local authority on alcoholic slushies. Where I live just got them legal and I was managing the first gas station that had them. So now other gas stations and bars seek me out to set up their shit. I can do that thing where you balance a coin on your elbow and catch it by thrusting your hand down. With over 20 quarters, I can reliably identify 300 plus bird species by sound. Strangely, at least to those in certain circles. I'm really not a birder. It's just something I learned for work. Spinning things on the tip of my finger. I can roll my tongue 5 times. I can jerk off to anything. Like, even a wall or the floor. Origami. Pittman's shorthand. It was already kind of dated as a note-taking method when I learned it years ago. And I hardly ever use it now though. I can find the fastest way to break internet-related laws. I can do any accent after hearing it once. People think I can read minds for real and get freaked out when I get it right. I don't do it often though. It's been like that since I was a kid. I'm very good at interpreting space, context and visual clues, so I guess it's easy to predict what a person is thinking. Similar to what Sherlock Holmes described in The Crimes of Rue Morgue. I've experienced something like the inverse of this. I've occasionally sort of spaced out and had a sort of dry run conversation with someone in the Same room as here, it's very rare. But sometimes the person I was talking to says to me, "What was that?" As if they picked up on my thought. I can burp the alphabet on command, haven't found the niche yet. None, I have no talents. We should start a club. Lol. I can draw, sometimes things of the adult variety. Knowing how to Google and look up stuff better than the people around me. I can do a good Ed from Good Burger impersonation. What about Ed from Ed, and Eddie? I haven't tried yet. Butter toast. Telegrapher. Dit. Finding great parking spaces, like at concerts and events. I like embroidery and like printing my name in flowers on stuff. Smiley face. I can look at lists of items and tell what is different about each one. This comes in handy at work when I have to look at orders and see if anything changed. I am mildly above average in math. Before I answer what does niche mean, it's like a breakfast pie thing you make with eggs. I have the Tetris brain for packing. Whenever my friends, or myself, move, I'm the one packing the vehicle. Which is nice because then I don't have to carry shit, haha. Oh yeah, to one more. I've never been beaten at a thumb war. That's talent. I play jazz bass. That's pretty damn awesome. Thanks, smiley face. Not really the best business to be on right now though. Not me, but my mom is able to identify what year a photograph was taken in the 1980s, judging by the hairstyle. I can perform necropsies on marine mammals. Nothing too big, but a fully grown seal, sea lion, dolphin, or porpoise for sure. I'm a guy that can put his foot behind his head. Product visualization. I can create photorealistic renders of products from modeling software. I can sound exactly like Nicolas Cage. In which movie? All of them, monsieur, but my favorite is Face Off. Pattern recognition, noticing trends in numbers and behavior patterns. I can telepathically predict when the microwave will ring without looking at the timer. Same here, useful for midnight snack runs. I can tie a cherry stem in a knot with my tongue. I can pop my thumb as many times as I want without stopping. That counts for something. I am glad I am not the only one that can do that. I can do that with all of my fingers but my thumb. I can lick my elbow. I did not just try to lick my elbow. I swear. Unicycle. Pretty fun, neat party trick, teaches discipline, not particularly useful. I can cluck like a chicken. I taught myself to fight. I know how to lathe. I'm pretty good at disappointing people. Making incredibly small amounts of money last long periods of time. I'm terrible with large amounts of money. But there were a couple of years where I was able to pay for beer, cigarettes, weed, and food for a whole month on just $50 or so. This requires you to not have a very high standard of living, but you would be surprised at how normal and functional you can be on so little money. I'm an absurdly talented healer in World of Warcraft. It feels weird to type that because it's not something I usually openly say. I've always seemed to just get it. For some reason, the role always clicked with me. Like I had some kind of natural talent for it. A crazy ability to just think on the fly and do well under pressure. I started the Wrath of the Lich King expansion as a nobody who got invited to a random guild as an expandable DPS with the intention of eventually healing. Well, once I did start healing, it wasn't long until I was getting comments from people about how I was the best healer they'd seen in their 5 years of playing the game. A year and a half later, I was part of the team to down the server first kill of Heroic Lich King. And I somehow managed to get the world rank 1 for effective healing done on our progression kill. Unfortunately, it also led to a situation where whenever I came back to the game to play it, I always felt like I had to live up to my past performance. It led to all kinds of anxiety where people expected great things from me. And even though I generally always delivered, I was always worried about living up to my past reputation and having to maintain a certain level of performance. The ability to identify the genre, era, nationality of countless death Black and grind bands based solely on guitar tone. The rest I'll get as soon as the vocals kick in. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.